Hello students, I am Shukla Choudhury and I am always there to help you out. This time I am with Macbeth Act 3. In this video of mine you can see the major points, the theme, the keywords of Macbeth Act 3 scene-wise, and at the end of every scene you can see the important questions which you need to prepare for your exam, and that will also help you to understand the aspect of this particular drama. Now, I always say to my students that before we start Act 3, which is a very important act, you must be very thorough with Act 1 and Act 2. So you can find Macbeth Act 1 and Act 2 in my channel, and the link is also there. If by chance you haven't seen by this time, you can check it out over there, and I'm sure most of you have already checked it out. So in this video, you are going to see Act 3, which is an important section because Shakespeare's drama, let me tell you this, Shakespeare had a typical pattern in his drama writing skill. He used Act 1 in a very introductory note, he used Act 2 as plot development, and Act 3 was always the tip of the pyramid, which is very important. So let's start.
So we start with Act 3, Scene 1. This scene takes place in King's Palace near Forres. Banquo in his soliloquy says that the prophecy of the witches has come true, and Macbeth is now King of Scotland, but he also senses a foul play. Remembering the witches' prophecy, he now hopes that his descendants would become the future king. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth enter with lords and attendants. Macbeth greets Banquo as the chief guest at the feast arranged to celebrate Macbeth's coronation. Macbeth tells him that Malcolm and Donalbain, who are suspects, have fled to England and Ireland. Inquiring about Banquo's immediate plan of horse riding, Macbeth bids him farewell and plans to murder Banquo as he fears Banquo's honesty and loyalty. Another reason why he is afraid of Banquo is only Banquo knows about the prophecy of the witches. He thinks that Banquo and his son must be removed from the scene to avoid any danger to him and to secure the crown for his own sons. At this point, two murderers enter to meet Macbeth, and Macbeth convinces them that the murder of Banquo is essential, as he feels Banquo was responsible for their misfortune. Actually, he makes them feel that and makes them understand that. He convinces also. The murderers agree to murder Banquo, and Macbeth instructs them to murder both Banquo and his son. Now, the important question from this scene: why Macbeth wanted to murder Banquo and how did he execute it? Next, we come to Act 3, Scene 2. This scene opens in a room of Macbeth's castle at Forres. Lady Macbeth advises her husband not to entertain sorrowful thoughts and asks him to forget about the deed that had been done. But Macbeth's mind is disturbed and his conscience tortures him. His wife tells him to put on happy appearance to welcome his guest that night. Macbeth tells her to put up the same pleasing appearance and be very nice to Banquo. Macbeth expresses that Banquo has become a menace to him. Lady Macbeth suggests that Banquo and his son Fleance can be killed. Macbeth has already made plans for that, but he doesn't share the details of the plan with Lady Macbeth. The only important question is the rift between Macbeth and Lady Macbeth has just begun to show. Explain. Next we come to Act 3, Scene 3. This scene opens in a park near the palace of Macbeth. The two murderers whom Macbeth has engaged to murder Banquo and his son are waiting for Banquo and his son Flints. A third murderer also joins them on Macbeth's orders. As they hear the sound of horses, they attack them. But they could kill only Banquo. Flints escapes. The murderer then reports this incident to Macbeth. Important question. Narrate this murder scene in your own words. Now, Act 3, Scene 4. This is the famous banquet scene. This opens in the hall of Macbeth's palace. Macbeth, Lady Macbeth, Ross, Lenox and attendants enter. Macbeth welcomes the guests and asks them to take their seats according to their ranks. Meanwhile, one of the murderers come and inform Macbeth that though Banquo has been murdered, Flints has escaped. This upsets Macbeth. Lady Macbeth tells Macbeth to join the guests in their drinking and merrymaking. Lenox asks Macbeth to take his seat, but at that moment the ghost of Banquo occupies that seat which is reserved for Macbeth. Macbeth addresses the gathering and says that it is unkind on the part of Banquo not to come. Ross now requests Macbeth to take his seat, and at this moment Macbeth says the ghost of Banquo, which is visible to him only. This agitated Macbeth, and he addresses the ghost and denies having anything to do with his murder. All the guests present there are amazed at this agitation. Lady Macbeth is quick to handle the situation and informs everyone that Macbeth frequently suffers from such fits and not to bother about it and enjoy their feast. She also exhorts her husband personally to throw away his fears and give company to his guests. Macbeth asks his wife to look at the ghost, but the ghost vanishes. Lady Macbeth reminds him that he is being watched by the lords present over there. Macbeth asks for pardon and explains his strange behavior as the outcome of his infirmity. He calls for wine and drinks to the health of his guests and Banquo. Again, the ghost appears before his eyes. Again, Macbeth gets agitated and shouts. Now Lady Macbeth doesn't take any chance and requests the guests to leave immediately. When Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are all alone, Macbeth remarks that Macduff has refused his invitation to come, and he decides to consult the witches next morning. He feels that more murders can make him secure. His wife asks him to take rest. Now the important question from this scene is only describe the banquet scene in your own words. Now we start Act 3, Scene 5. The scene opens on a heath amidst thunder. The three witches meet their queen Hecate, who is very angry with the witches for making prophecies to Macbeth without consulting her. She informs them that Macbeth will come soon to know about his future, and they must ruin his life by making ambitious prophecies and should make him overconfident so that he destroys himself. Important question from Scene 5 is, why is Hecate angry with the witches? Now we come to the last scene of this Act 3. This scene opens outside Macbeth's palace at Forres. Lenox is in conversation and another lord, and both are worried about the developments that have taken place after the murder of King Duncan. The murder of Banquo and the flight of Malcolm and Donalbain have baffled them. They feel that Macbeth is becoming tyrannical. The Lord informs us that Malcolm has gone to England to seek the support of King of England, and Macbeth has gone there too to join him. It is hoped that Malcolm, with the support of the King of England, will overthrow Macbeth and will bring peace to Scotland. Now, important question from scene 6. What do you apprehend from the conversation between Lenox and the Lord?
So, dear students, that was Act 3 Macbeth for you, and I'm sure you have checked out the important question that's there at the end of the video. Prepare them so that you can do very well in your exams. That's all for today's video. Take care. See you soon with Act 4.